guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy V. Last time, I have no idea what happened last time, because last time I did this episode and then poof, recording mishap and it didn't work. So anyway, I think last time we got some legendary weapons or something. I'll go over what my setup is for this fight after the battle, since we won't have a timer then. But basically, I have Bartz as a bear job class, or the normal job class. Ferris is a mystic knight. We've got blue magic and summon magic on Kara, and Lena has dimension magic and combine. We have X-Fight on our two fighters, because that's going to be very, very useful. And the other ones have a whole, well, basically just what I mentioned there. Lots of spells, because we need those. No, what am I doing? First things first, cast quick. Going to need this. And now that we've cast quick, we're going to combine potion and dragon fang on our fighters for dragon power. The other thing, before we do anything else, we want haste too. We want to get that haste to get going, get as fast as we can, get as many turns as we can. And we want to summon up Golem, basically get all of our protection up as quickly as we can. And this time we're actually going to take him down. I've got all of my things set up that I need to, so we're just going to guard past our other two guys there real quick, just so that I can get more buffs set up now before Gogo starts countering the crap out of me. Alright, so we got Potion, Dragon Fang, get that over onto Ferris there, and let's do that one more on Ferris. We'll get another one on Bartz on Lena's next turn there. Okay, I guess you get to go first. We have the Mute Spellblade set up with you, so that we can mute Gogo's Meteor attempts. We also have Flame Rings on everybody to protect against a couple of his attacks. Okay, well, I'm going to reset up Golem. It's hard to know how many turns Golem's going to take before he decides to conk out. But as you can see, X-Fight really allows you to take this guy down a lot faster than you otherwise would have. Sure, we'll set up quick one more time just so that I can kill him a little bit faster. He had, what, like 40, 50, 60,000? I can't even remember anymore. I don't have that part of my notes in front of me because I kind of did it all off the fly toward the end of my last recording session, and I've never seen this before, but when I went to go edit the episode, the game audio was there with no video and none of my commentary. I've never seen that before. Now, this probably has something to do with something that you may or may not already know by the time this episode ends up going up. It all depends on how lucky I am with finding things. Don't worry about it. It won't really matter too much. Yeah, eventually at one point during the fight, he will try and cast 3 attempts at Meteor in a row, and that's going to end very poorly for you. The only attacks you want to deal to him are going to be the physical variety, because with Mute as a Spellblade, you'll be able to take him down somewhat easily. Anyway, it's a lot easier this time around as opposed to the first time around when we didn't have X-Fight and we didn't have the Excalibur or the Masamune or, you know, anything good as far as a weapon goes other than the chicken knife. One thing that would also be really good against him, if we had them, and we do have them, where are they? Are Man-Eater Knives. Man-Eater Knives would also be really good. In fact, they'd probably be better, except I don't think they work with Spellblade, do they? I should actually be looking this stuff up ahead of time, but I'm going to be all sorts all over the place for this episode, because, like I said, I've already done this once before. Where are my Man-Eater Knives? Okay, I eventually found them, even though I went past them a couple of times. Yeah, it doesn't say on there that you can use double grip or that you can use magic sword okay, which is usually what the line is. So I don't think they can actually be used with it, so that's not going to help us very much. You could pair one of them with Excalibur, because I don't think the Masamune is susceptible to that either. But the point I was trying to make is we need to make sure we have Mute Blade going through, and the Man-Eater knives will critical, so even though they don't have that, you may want to replace the Masamune with there, because they always critical human-type enemies. But anyway, the gear we have, we still got 2 minutes left here. Perfect. So that's my equipment. Ribbon on the normal job class, he can equip pretty much any piece of equipment. There's might be like 1 or 2 things they can't equip, but flame rings to protect against attack they never got a chance to use. Guardian knife, because why the hell not? You're not going to attack with anything. Wizard, just because it was there. Aegis shield, more block is good. And you had the chicken knife over here. Everyone had flame rings. Ability, X-Fight, Magic Sword, X-Fight, Magic Sword, Dimension Combine, and Blue and Summon. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up my save state, and we're going to show that without X-Fight, because there are actually ways of doing it without X-Fight as well. They just take a little longer. Okay, we're back. I just figured I'd skip past all of his dialogue from before, since we've already seen that once before. So we've changed X-Fight out so that we could take this guy down kind of the hard way without being super prepared for it. You want to get a number of buffs up ahead of time. It's basically the same fight, just without X-Fight. So you want quick right off the start. You do want haste, and you do want to up your power, but you do have to be prepared. I have turned both Lena and Kara into the normal job class to give them slightly more MP, or HP rather, but I don't think it's about 100 more, so it's not a huge difference, but it might be the difference between life and death here. So anyway, you're gonna have to guard through an attack. I need to set up big guard for sure on this one. Definitely got to have Protect and Shell, and then one more quick, and we should be ready to take him down, as long as we don't get cheese through. Part of the reason why I'm doing this a second time is 1, to show you can beat it without X-Fight, and 2, to show off his attacks that he never got to use in the first run of the fight, and make sure Bart's goes first, because he's got the Mute Spell Blade. That's not good, because you missed. You missed the important one. And the first attack was with the Masamune, which is... Wow, that's really not good. Let's get haste on you there. Yeah, let's try that again. There we go. We got the Mute Sword. That's the important one. Doesn't matter that I missed the other one. Would you stop? Wow. See, one of his attacks will go right through Golem, unfortunately, and there's not really anything you can do about it, unfortunately. I did have Float on, not that you really need it for this fight, but I would like to get Big Guard back established for everybody. And I also have to heal Kara there. I'll use you to do that. Elixir, that'll work. Because he's already in mute, and now I just have to actually deal enough damage. So I got two-handed on Ferris there, and secondary weapon is, I think, just an enhancer sword or something like that. So let's get quick going now. And so yeah, the rest of the fight plays out similar to the way it did the first time we went through here, but he's still not going to be able to do Meteor. He will eventually get around to using an attack that, or a trio of attacks rather, that does a whole whack ton of damage after he attempts to do his triple cast of Meteor, which he usually does after a little while. Combine, Potion, Dragon Fang, you. And also on you. On her next turn, if she gets another shot at it, just reset up Golem since you have nothing better to do. There we go. So yeah, there's the triple cast of Meteor. Would you stop? Wow. I didn't have this much trouble hitting him in any of my other attempts. Wow. That is... and I'm out of MP because this time they were in their bear job classes, so I didn't get around to giving them, whatever it was. Oh, words are difficult. I kind of want to give them giant strengths, but I can't remember what the combination for it is, so I'm not going to bother. See, there's Maelstrom, which can lower your down to critical. There's an Ice Elemental attack, and then Aqua Rake is the deadly one. So you kind of want to wait and hope. Okay, good. It's got a real random range of damage. We have Flame Rings on still to protect us from the full brunt of the Ice Elemental attack. So as long as we can survive that, we'll be fine. But that's the big one. Sometimes it can do over 1,000 damage to all your party members, and then you're pretty much game over. That's actually what happened at the first attempt of this recording, the one that didn't get screwed up so far. Knock on wood, somebody help me. Still don't believe that. That is just a weird thing. But yeah, we should be pretty much done with this fight now. Just, really, that's the unfortunate side of having the chicken knife on. If it is your first weapon, combine, potion, dragon fang. This is just to increase our defenses so we take less damage. That's it. See, blaze is, even though it sounds like it would be fire elemental, it is actually ice elemental. And I probably shouldn't have skipped your turn because I wanted to heal directly after this, but that's what we have haste for. Let's see if we can finish him off here. Should be. There we go. So yeah, it is doable. It's kind of a crapshoot, especially without X-Fight, but it is definitely doable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go read through this fight. I'm going to turn Ferris into a thief, finish off Thief, turn the mages into whatever mages they haven't finished working on yet, and I'm going to change Bart's, I think, into a knight or a mystic knight or something like that. Something to work on, just whatever. And once we're done with that, I will meet you outside with the... let's just take a look here. Yeah, we got the final job class Mimic. But yeah, I'll meet you outside with one final glitch that I want to demonstrate, and demonstrating the Berserker with the Kaiser Knuckles as well. Okay, we're back. Now, first things first, I want to demonstrate how powerful the Berserker can be with the Kaiser Knuckles equipped. And in order to do that, I just need to let him attack. Now, that's an enemy who's further in the back row. He'll do about 2,000 per attack against pretty much any enemy that you want to fight. It'll be a little bit less against some of the other enemies later on in the game. Let's just fast forward a little bit here. Come on, attack the one in the front row. You can do it. There we go. I guess that one's close enough to the front row. So yeah, not bad doing 4,000 damage per attack. Okay, perfect. I already had my save state set up so that he wasn't still going to be in that Berserker form. The other thing is one of the last glitches that I want to go over here. And that one requires you to use Combine. Doesn't matter what combination you're using. I'll just do that one. Sure, whatever, doesn't really matter. In order for this to work, the first thing you have to do is combine any combination, doesn't matter what it is. And then after that, you need to use the X Magic command. So the way that this works is it's going to redirect one of your spells so that it doesn't really hit the target you intended on hitting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to target Shell on Lena, and with my second one, I'm going to target Cure on everybody. Remember, Shell was single targeting here. And because of this glitch, it will redirect whatever the first spell is to whatever you directed the second spell to. Now, this can be, as you can tell, really abusive if you want to get some buffs up real fast. Of course, we already have a really good ability called Big Guard, so it's not like we need to do this. But I did want to show off one of these things because if you use it with the Holy spell, it glitches up. So let's try and target Ice so that it will use Holy on everybody. You're not supposed to be able to cast Holy on everybody. And it glitches out. So let's not do that. But I did want to at least show off one more glitch. I believe there might be one or two other ones in the final dungeon. But other than that, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go set up my equipment, sell off all my excess junk, buy the appropriate things, and then we will... Actually, you know what? Because I already have that save state set up after entering the void, we're just going to enter the void, and then I'll show you my new setup once we get in there. Since the last save state I made after getting all of my selling and all that done was after I had already gotten into the void in the attempt of recording this that did not work. I figure it'll be easier this way and less confusion. There we go. Okay. What exactly happened here? Well, the Cleft of Dimension is not just like one type of area. It is a big mix match of everything. And we've seen these enemies before, but though I don't believe I've gone over them. Quake can be really powerful when these guys use it, so be very careful. It'll do over 1,000 damage, so be very, very careful. You'll want float cast throughout most of this area. Alright, we'll get out my list. There are 3 different enemies that you typically encounter here. Basically, throughout the entirety of the final dungeon, you will eventually run into like some weak enemies, potentially, from like the beginning of the game. So just kind of be aware that that's there. Nope, I guess we need to go up the other side. Yeah, we fight this guy again too. Fast forward. Hurry up, slash should hopefully work on him. There we go. So yeah, land squid, which we haven't seen yet. Let's see if we can find him before I start talking about all of the different enemies in here. Or another land crawl, that works too. One of the advantages of having Mime is you can attempt to use something like Slash a secondary time, especially if the other character gets to go with Mime, gets to go right after someone with Slash. And I will be making more use of this and going over a little more about the Mime job class in a bit. But until then, let's just get all the way through here to this point, because we got a cutscene here. Monsters who've been sealed. There they are. There are a lot of bosses in the final area. It's also like a mix match of different mini areas throughout the area, featuring, you know, like the desert here, ruins, forest, that type of thing. We'll be getting a whole variety of different areas. But anyway, I don't believe we fight any of them now, so there's not really much to worry about. But they're nice to give us access to a save point, I think, pretty much right away once we get in here. I guess not. Okay, now is probably as good a time as any to go over those encounters. All 3 of them, Liquid Squid, Land Crawler, and Centipeeler, all level 48. The Squid and the Centipeeler have 2,780 HP. Land Squid is immune to Mini. The Centipeeler is weak to Ice and susceptible to pretty much all status. The Land Crawler, 22,000 HP, immune to Toad, Stone, Mini, Zombie, Sleep, Paralysis. As we noted before, you can seal a rare defender from him. You can use level 4 Quarter plus Aqua Breath to pretty much one-shot him, or two-shot him, I guess. You can also use, or he can rarely drop, or rarely drop an elixir. Sorry. Anyway, let's find where I put that other save state. There it is. Oh, I guess I'm right at the beginning. We'll cut back to where I was a moment ago, but here we have my new setup. We have the bone mail on Bart's here. We have Ribbon, Masamune, Excalibur. He's got the big heavy wielding equipment there. Ferris has some of the lighter equipment with a Ribbon, Dark Gear, Guard Ring, and Man-Eater Chicken Knife. It's a pretty good combination. We don't need to worry about Dance anymore. If we take a look at our normal job class with Bart's here, we've got X-Fight and Slash, pretty much all he'll be using at this point in the game. Over here we have X-Fight, equipped ribbons so that I can use that ribbon, and the item command. The way the Mimic job class works is your first ability and the only ability you must have is Mime. So Mime is a really good ability. Mime's previous action. It can be really, really abusive, especially if you're miming like something like Quick or Haste 2. Well, I guess that particular one doesn't really help you, but you know, using a combination, using Slash, using X-Fight, all of these things can be duplicated with Mime. Makes it really, really useful. You can reset up like a Golem buff if you set it up once and then the enemy did like 4,000 damage or something like that. Mime, reset it up. Can be very, very helpful. It does take away your attack and item command, so you have to put item on as a secondary ability in this case, just to be able to have access to it. Everyone else is Mimics. We have X Magic with Dimension and Combine. And here we have X Magic with Summon Magic and Blue Magic. Now I believe this works with Summon Magic, but I do not think it works with Blue Magic. So it just allows us to get a couple of summons off. I probably will end up swapping this out for something else because it's only really useful in boss fights. So anyway, we'll take a look at that as time goes by. They're both Mimics as well. Guardian, Aegis Shield, Gold Pin. Gotta have as much as we can as far as MP retention throughout this very long area. Wizard Rod, Aegis Shield, Gold Pin, pretty much the standard way we've had things set up for a while. Anyway, I will make my way back to the end there where we ended off a minute ago, but that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. Hopefully it turns out, and yeah, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.